we're going to be focusing on core strength because everything stems from the core. Mobility is easier and stronger when you have a stronger core. So we're going to be doing mostly seated, but some standing exercises. And we should have more than enough time for 2 rounds going nice and slow and steady so that we activate the proper muscle groups without overcompensating. And I don't know if you know this or not, but doing cardio exercise before functional MS specific exercises has been shown to increase the likelihood of neuroplasticity, meaning your brain is more likely to strengthen its neural pathways or find new neural pathways. So I always like to start with some seated cardio so we don't fatigue our legs. For our cardio, first just shake everything out. Let your body just kind of hang loose, dead weight, shake and shimmy. You should feel a little silly. Just get everything nice and loose, let your belly just hang out. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath and sit up tall. Hands are going to be in very light fists. You're not squeezing, they're just barely closed. And go ahead and start with some arm swings. Now remember, the point of this is cardio. So the way to make this a cardio exercise and not just an arm exercise is to either go a little faster than what feels normal for you, or bigger motion, really go as big as you can, or add power. So really punch up towards the ceiling with power every single time. So any of those are good options for you. I'm going to go a little bit faster than what feels normal to me today. Keep going. Now, even though our goal here is cardio, I want you to look down at your legs and make sure your knees are not collapsing inward. Keep your knees out. So we want to keep our whole body in good alignment. Keep going. All right, I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to say go. And we're going to go as fast as we can for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow down, then stop and shake out. Take a deep breath, let your arms hang loose, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And we're going to go right into our next cardio one, which is hands slightly clenched and forward punches. So same thing here as before. To get this to be cardio, you can either go faster than what's normal for you, full motion, really fully straightening and fully bending, or power, punch. Pack a punch with each one as if you're punching a punching bag or something that's heavy. So you can do any of those. I'm just going to go faster today. If for some reason this bothers your shoulders, you can just punch down towards your knees instead. That's just as effective. Keep going. Make sure your knees aren't collapsing inwards. Keep them out in good alignment. Punch, punch, punch. And we're going to do the same thing where we'll end with 5 faster seconds. Going. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow it down. Stop and shake out. Our last cardio one we're going to do, hopefully you feel your heart rate increasing already. The last cardio one is going to be reach and pull down. And I really want you to reach as far as you can, and you'll feel a stretch on your side, and then you'll pull. Then you'll feel a stretch on the other side and pull, reach, pull. And you can see my hands. Hands should be wide open and then close on your way down. So we're working lots of different muscle groups. Your core, your shoulders, your hands. Reach and pull, reach and pull. This is a cardio exercise simply because of how many muscles we're using. But the faster you go, the more it will feel like even more of a cardio exercise. Reach, reach, reach. Keep going. All right. Now we are going to go with 5 faster seconds at the end, but we're going to lessen our range of motion. So instead of reaching all the way up like this, we're going to come down here. And we're going to pull from our forehead down instead, just so we can go faster. In 3, 2, 1, and go fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow down. And then stop and shake everything out. Nice job. Hopefully you feel your heart rate increasing from that, so you can let it come down. If you have some cold water nearby, take a sip of water. And we're going to get started with our core strengthening exercises. Now, the core is a lot. A lot of people think the core is just your abs. That's a part of it. The core are the muscles on your front of your belly, the side of your belly, the back, and your glutes. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. I'm going to change my chair just so you guys can see the exercise a little bit better. So go ahead and sit up as tall as you can at the edge of your seat. Just sitting up here. And now what you're going to do is hinge backwards. If you've done a class with me before, you've probably done this. This is one of my favorites. Just hinge back, pause, and then pull yourself back up. So we'll do 10 of those. So go ahead and hinge, pause, and up. And again, back, pause, up. One thing that's very important with exercise, especially when you have MS, is that you are focusing mentally on which muscle you want to be using. So when you're doing this exercise, mentally, I want you thinking about your abs, because it's very easy for your hip flexors to start working instead of your abs, or they'll work more than your abs. And we mostly want our abs working here. Back. This is number 7. Up. 8. And up. This is 9. Back. And up. One more, and we're going to hold longer. So go back and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull up. And relax, let your belly hang loose. It's really important to let all your muscles relax between each exercise. Next one we're going to do, we're moving around. So that was for our front. Now we're going for our sides. So now we're going to do one that I like to call the penguin, because I feel like a penguin when I do this. Scoot back a bit. You're now in the middle of your chair. Hands are down, so your fingertips face the floor. Your hips stay evenly on the chair the whole time. We're not shifting our body weight. You're just tipping down towards the floor, and then slowly up. Then the other way, tip and slowly up. Nice job. If you don't do this type of exercise frequently, you will probably be sore, which is a good thing. When you're tipping this way, you'll feel the stretch here, and then these same muscles tighten to pull you back up. Slow and steady. Most of the time, if you do any exercise quickly, it's easier because you're using momentum. So by slowing down, we're making sure that we're using the appropriate muscle group and not overcompensating. And up, tip, and up, tip, up. We're halfway, 5 more. And remember too that everyone has a different amount of how far they can tip. Part of it is due to flexibility and strength, but another part is just due to how long our torsos are. I have some clients that can almost touch the floor. I am very far away from the floor, but that doesn't mean that I'm any less effective. So whatever distance you can go is good. And up, tip, slow and steady, up. You should feel this in your sides. And up, 2 more on each side. Tip, up. Nice job, tip, up. 1 more each side, tip, up. And last one, tip, up. And again, relax, let everything hang loose, shake everything out. So we can check off our front of our core, the sides of our core. Now we're going to do the back. So for the back, what we're going to do is, again, scoot to the edge of your chair and move your feet a little bit further away from you. You should be at about 90 degrees or a little bit wider. Sitting up nice and tall, hands are going to be stacked one on top of the other. And you're going to reach with a flat back. That's really important. Flat back as far forward as you can possibly reach, and then slowly come back up. Okay, let's do 10. Slowly forward and slowly back. You should also feel your leg muscles working. So right here, your glutes are working, your hamstrings are working, but pulling back up is your back muscles. Again. And up. Forward. Keep a flat back and up. That's 5. We're halfway. Reach. And up. Reach. Up. Reach. Up. 2 more. Keep a flat back. Keep going. Reach. Up. And one final one. Reach. Up. And again, relax. Let everything hang loose. That's another one where if you don't do that type of exercise often, you might be sore tomorrow from that one. So we did our front, our sides, and our back. Now we're moving down to our glutes. Our glutes are a huge source of strength for our core. So we're going to do a seated clamshell. So feet stay touching. You're at the edge of your seat, and I'll demonstrate a few times. We're going to open your knees as wide as you absolutely can without your feet rolling. So your inside of your feet stay touching the whole time. This is another one where everyone is different. This is as far as I can go without my feet rolling out, which is not very far. You might be able to go way more than me or even less than me. It doesn't matter. As long as you feel like you're going as wide as you can, that's what matters. So that's step 1, is open as wide as you can, then squeeze your glutes, and then relax and close. So let's do one more practice one. So open as wide as you can, squeeze your glutes, relax your glutes, and close. So it's kind of a 2-step exercise. All right, we'll do 10 of these. So when you're ready, go ahead and open, squeeze, relax, and close. Open, squeeze. When you squeeze, you should feel like you raise up a couple centimeters, I'll say. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. Open, squeeze. Ideally, you're feeling these big glute or hip muscles working. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. We're halfway. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. You should feel this more and more. The more you in your glutes, the more repetitions we do. Close. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. We've got 2 more. Open, squeeze, relax, and close. We're going to hold longer this time. Open and squeeze as hard as you can. Keep holding, holding, holding. Keep holding. 3, 2, 1. Relax and close. If you need to, go ahead and shake your legs out. That should feel pretty intense for your glutes. So shake everything out. Our final exercise is going to be a standing one where we work all those things in one, our front, side, back, and our glutes. So go ahead and stand up. I'm going to show you from this side. What we're going to do is squats. This uses all of our core muscles. So for starters, your feet are going to be wider than your shoulders. So if this is your normal stance, just take an extra step out. Step number 1, once your feet are in the right place, is hinge back. So that should feel very similar to the one where we were reaching forward, and then bend as low as you feel comfortable, and then stand back up. The whole time you're tightening your abdominal muscles. You should feel like if I was about to punch you and you clench, you're doing that the whole time, but you still have to breathe. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of these. So nice and tall, arms can be forward. When you're ready, hinge, bend, and up. Hinge, bend, up. Hinge, bend, up. Hinge, bend, up, hinge, bend. Remember, keep your belly muscles nice and tight, up. 5 more, we're halfway. Hinge, bend, up. Abs are tight, hinge, bend, up. Hinge, bend. Remember in the beginning, I said we need to mentally focus on which muscle groups are working. This is a perfect example. If we don't focus on our belly muscles, they often will not work here. Last one, hinge, bend, keep holding, hold, and up, and then shake everything out. Nice job. We're gonna do, I know I said that was the last one. We're just gonna do a quick round of one final one to get our core working. It's gonna be side to side weight shifting. So feet are still a bit wider than shoulder distance apart. That a little further away. Tighten your belly muscles. Your mind is focused on tightening these muscles. And what you're gonna do is shift your weight this way as much as you can. Even if you want to go on a single leg, great. If not, just leave that leg down. Then come back to the center all the way through. And again, this leg can stay down or you can lift it up. And we're just slowly moving side to side. Your focus is on your core. And shift. So now we're trying to get our core muscles to fire while we're moving in a standing position. Slow and steady. Focus on your belly. Back this way. And keep going side to side. We're just going to do a few more. Keep a good posture if possible. And depending on how easy or hard this is for you, we're all going to look a little bit different. You could bend one knee a lot to stand on one leg, or just move it out to the side. Or maybe you're only putting 60% of your weight on this leg, because that's all that you can do while focusing on the core. That's fine too. One more each side. Shift. And then back the other way. Then back to the center. And relax, shake everything out. All right, nice job. That was one round. Go ahead and sit back down, take a sip of water. So we are going to do that again. So for our second round, we're going to add a little bit of a twist so that some of the exercises will be the same, but others will be a little bit different. This first one is going to be a little bit different. So the first time we did our seated ab lean backs, we did this. This time we're going, sorry, someone just pulled in. This time we're going to cross our arms like this, and we're going to add a twist to it. So you're going to lean backwards, but you're going to turn and then slowly unravel or untwist, and then the other way. So back and turn. And turn as much as you can, then come back up. You should feel like you're wringing out your abdominal area. So we're going to do 10 of those. Those can be practice ones to get everything flowing. When you're ready, go back and turn and up. I apologize if you can hear my dogs. Hopefully you can't. Turn and up. Keeping a flat back the whole time. You shouldn't be arching or rounding. And up. Back and turn. Up. Back and turn. Up, back and turn, up. So again, slow and steady, and your mind is focusing on your abs. Up, back and turn, up, back and turn, up. Keep going, nice job. Turn, up, back and turn, up, back and turn. We're doing 10 each way. We've got 4 more. We're over halfway. Back and turn, up, back and turn, up, back and turn, up, back and turn, up. 2 more. Back and turn. A lot of these exercises, I personally feel, and I think you'd agree, are very tedious. They're slow. It's just one muscle group or maybe 2 at a time, but it's so important. And last one each side. Back and turn. Up and relax. Shake everything out. Next one is our penguin, where we're going side to side. And that first one that we just did was our front and a little bit of our obliques. This is going to be our side abs. So scoot a little bit further back. You're now in the middle of your chair. Hands are down, fingertips facing the floor, and we're going to tip as far as you can go without lifting your body weight off of this hip, and then up. Other way. Tip and up. Nice. Tip, slow and steady wins the race. Up. Tip. Up. Tip. I have been noticing lately that I look down to the floor for a lot of these exercises, and it's because if you're doing them in an intentional way, it really does require a lot of focus to make sure that you're squeezing the right muscles. And up, tip, up, tip, up. We're halfway, 5 more each side. Tip, up, tip, up, tip, up, slow and steady, tip, up, 3 more, keep going. Again, make sure that your knees are not collapsing inward. So often, especially women, just because our hips are wider, our knees just collapse inward. But the more your legs get used to being in that position, the more it will become more comfortable in your new normal. And that can sometimes cause tripping over yourself or aches and pains. So keep those knees out. Bring it up, good. And stop there. Nice job. Shake everything out. Good work. Next one we're going to do is our hinging forward, but this one's a little bit different. So the first time we scoot forward again. So scoot forward all the way to the edge of your chair. Move your feet a little bit further away from you. And the first time we did this, where we just went forward and then back. This time we are going to do what I call around the world. So we're going to do 5, where we reach all the way over to the right and go all the way around nice and slow, and then back up. And then we're going to do 5 where we reach the other way all the way around, and then we come back up. So you will feel this one in your core. You'll also feel this in your shoulders. You'll feel it in your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads. You'll feel this a lot of places. I want your mind focusing on your core area, your back muscles and your belly muscles. So hands on top, and you can go either way because we're going to do one of each. But when you're ready, go in one direction and all the way around, and then back to the center. And again, all the way around, slow and steady. I also feel like a witch that is stirring a big pot all the way around. 2 more in this direction. Reach. Keep a flat back. Remember, this is a back strengthening exercise, and the way you work your back is by keeping it flat. And up. Okay, that was 5. Other direction. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Reach. And up. Reach. And up. You got, if you're staying at my pace, 2 more. Reach. All the way around. Up. 1 more. Reach. All the way around. And up. And then again, relax. Shake everything out. If at any point you feel like you do need to do a stretch to just loosen something up, go ahead and do that. Moving on down, we did our front, our side, our back. So now we're doing our glutes with our seated clamshell. This is the same as the first time. Scoot back so you're in the middle of your chair. Feet remain touching the whole time. And knees open as wide as you can and squeeze your butt. Then relax and close. We'll do that 10 times. Open and squeeze in here. Relax and close. Open and squeeze. Relax and close. open, squeeze. And remember, you're trying to open as wide as you can. It doesn't look like much. With you looking at me, it just looks like I'm opening, but I am pressing out the entire time. Relax and close. Open, squeeze. Relax and close. Open, squeeze. Relax and close. We're halfway, 5 more. Open, squeeze. Relax and close. Open, squeeze. Relax, close. Open, squeeze. Relax and close. Open, squeeze. Relax and close. We're going to do one more, but hold longer. Open and squeeze as hard as you can. Squeeze harder, harder, harder. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Relax and close. You should be asking to rest after that one because you're squeezing so much. Shake those legs out, get them to relax a little. And then we're going to do our squat exercise. So when you're ready, go ahead and stand up. Feet stay nice and wide. Hinge forward and stand up. I'm going to turn to face sideways just to show you the side angle, but you guys can stay where you're at. All right. So again, from the front, your feet are nice and wide. I don't want anyone doing a narrow squat like this. Feet are wide. And step number 1, and let me say too, this is how you should always sit down, is hips hinge and then you sit down. We're just doing squats for right now, but get used to that hinge first position. That's what will prevent you from plopping down like this or trying to stand up and plopping down then. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to do 10 of these. So again, just as a reminder, it's a hinge, down as low as you feel comfortable, and then up. And we'll do 10 of those. All right, let's go for it. Hinge, down, up. Hinge, down, and up. So keep going. When I say hinge, I think you guys know what I mean, but just to confirm that, your hips go back and your shoulders come forward. You should feel very steady in the hinged position. Down and up. 5 more. We're halfway. Hinge, down, up. Hinge, down, up. Hinge, down. And when you down, your shoulders are staying forward, up. 2 more. Hinge, down, up. 1 more. Hinge, down, and up. Shake everything out. Nice job. If you want to do a twist or anything to just loosen up your body. We will be ending with that side to side weight shifting one, but slightly different this round. So the first time that we did our weight shifting, our feet were like this. We focused on our abs and we went side to side. This time we're in a staggered stance. So from the front, it looks like this. And from the side, it looks like this. So 1 foot is forward, 1 is back, but it's not tandem. You're not in line, you're wide. So what we're gonna do, 5 times, we're gonna come forward on this leg with as much weight as you can here. If you want, you can lift that back leg up or just leave it down. Your focus mentally is on your abs, and then we'll shift our weight back. And then forward and back. So we'll do that 5 times here, then we'll switch and do 5 times this way. Okay, so up nice and tall, chest is up, focus on your abs, tighten your belly muscles, knees are slightly bent, and let's go forward, hold, and back to neutral. Forward, hold, and back to neutral. This often is very challenging if you have a weak core, but also if your knee likes to lock or hyperextend or buckle. We're trying to train that to not happen. Back. 1 more. Hold forward. Stay here a little bit longer this time. Hold, hold, hold. And then back to the center. And relax. Shake everything out. And then switch sides. You should feel like you're in a regular stance, as if I were to say, take a step towards me. However length or however long your normal step length is what you should feel you're in right now, not anything super long. All right, here we go. Tighten your abs again. You're mentally focusing on tightening your core, and go ahead and shift your weight forward. Both knees are slightly bent and back. Forward, hold, and back. Forward, hold, and back. Forward, hold, and back. One more. We'll hold a little bit longer. Forward and hold. Abs are tight. Stay here and back and relax. Shake everything out. And then you can go ahead and sit down, have a sip of water. We're going to end with just a few stretches to loosen everything up. So it's so important that we end and that you end anytime that you're exercising with stretching, because we do not want the muscles that we just strengthened to stay tight the entire time. For the rest of the day. We want them to loosen up because that's when they're going to work their best. So we did a glute exercise. So I want to stretch our glutes out. So go ahead and grab one leg, put it on top of your opposite lower thigh. And then from here, sit up tall. And if you're tight like me, you'll already feel the stretch in your glute on this side. But if you need more of a stretch, you're really flexible. If you need more of a stretch, keep your back flat and hinge forward with a flat back. You can even arch your lower back if you want to. And stay here. I am jealous of that flexibility. Nice hold. Keep breathing. I don't know how much you guys know about stretching, but there's several different types of stretching. One type is what we're doing now, which is holding about 20 to 30 seconds and then release. And we're going to do the other side. And you would do that 2 to 4 times each side. We're just going to do 2 today. That's static stretching. Another type of stretching, sit up tall and then hinge. Another type is dynamic stretching. So you guys stay with static, but I'll show you what dynamic is. Dynamic is when you hold for 2 or 3 seconds and then release. Hold again for 2 or 3 seconds and then release. And you do that about 20 to 30 times. And then there's prolonged static where we would stay here for like 5 minutes. So those are the 3 main types of stretching. Research shows that prolonged static is best for spasticity. But when we're just trying to stretch out tight muscles, regular static and dynamic are equivalent. So I often tell my clients, go ahead and we'll switch back to the other side. I often tell my clients, try both. And if you feel looser and better with one, stick to that one. If you don't, pick whichever one you like better. Doesn't matter. And again, we should be feeling this on the outside of our hip. And come back up. Slowly lower. We'll move to the other side. And one thing too with this stretch in particular, make sure this leg is dead weight. This leg should not be doing anything at all. Your hands hold it there. Or if you're flexible enough, it might just stay on your leg, on your opposite leg. I am not that flexible. So if I were to let go with my hand, my leg would just fall right down. And again, this stretch you're feeling on this side, anywhere on the outer hip or outer thigh is fair game. Hopefully you can feel it releasing even more as we hold the stretch longer. When you're ready, sit up tall, slowly let that leg down, hamstring stretch. So one leg straightens, try to get that knee as straight as possible. Both hands on your opposite thigh, sit up tall and hinge. So your upper body is doing a very similar thing to our last stretch, but your legs are in a different position. Anywhere that is fair game to feel this is anywhere on the back of your thigh from your butt down to your knees of the leg that's straight. And keep breathing. Sit up tall. Try your best not to use your hands as you bend that leg, and then straighten the other one. Hands down, sit up. And hinge, flat back. Same thing here. You should feel it's on the back of your thigh, anywhere from your back of your butt to your knee. It doesn't matter what your ankle is doing here. This isn't necessarily a calf stretch. If it was, you'd want your toes to be up, But since this is a hamstring stretch, your ankle and foot can do whatever you want it to. All right, sit up tall. One more of those each side. Try your best not to use your hands. Down. If you do need to use your hands, that's fine. My rule that I like to tell my clients is my rule of 2. So attempt twice to not use your hands as you bend your leg. If it didn't work, go ahead and use your hands. But by doing the rule of 2, you are at least telling your brain that in this situation, I want to be able to bend my knee without using my hands. I want to be able to use this strength that I'm practicing to build. And sit up tall. Bend that leg, try not to use your hands, other leg straight. Up tall again and hinge. And sit up tall. Again, try your best not to use your hand. The last stretch we're going to do today is go a little bit further back so you're in the middle of your chair. And we're going to twist it out. We did a lot of core work. So one hand on the opposite or on the outside of your thigh. This hand goes on the back of your chair and twist. And hold here. Try your best, I know it's challenging, but try your best to relax your core. The center of your body should not be doing anything. It's your arms that are holding you there. And when you're ready, unwind, let go, and come all the way over to the other side. Once you're in the position, relax your belly. Unwind, other side, one more each side. Hold here. And twist to the other side, slow and steady. I once heard in a yoga class that doing these twisting movements is really good for our immune system. I don't know if that's true or not, but I remember hearing that and it stuck with me. And when you're ready, back to the center. If there's any other stretch that you feel like doing right now, whether that's a cat-cow, a leg stretch, arm stretch, neck stretch, you can take this time to do whatever your body feels like it wants. Neck stretches always feel really good to me.